Hey everyone, my name is Kevin, and in this video, I'm going to tell you my honest thoughts on the Cash App and Cash App investing platform. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get the Cash App. In this review, I'm going to tell you how the Cash App actually works first and tell you the core features of the Cash App. Then I'm going to tell you about the added features that make the Cash App unique, such as the ability to have boosts, cashback rewards, Bitcoin trading, and stock market investing. So first off, the Cash App is a way to send and receive money very easily between friends, even if you don't have the same bank account. The Cash App was developed by Square Inc., and it's most useful for splitting the restaurant bill, splitting an Uber fare, or chipping in for a birthday present, sending small amounts of money to your friends. Now the Cash App is mobile centric, though there is a website that you can go to online, but the website is really just this landing page that tries to get you to download the app. Now it has features on the website that you could use, such as checking your balance, and you could even send money, but really it's a mobile centric platform. And if you go to the website, you're just going to be met with a creepy little eye that follows you around. The Cash App is very similar to Venmo, Apple Pay, and Google Pay, and it's generally free to send and receive money with the Cash App. It's very easy to sign up for the Cash App. All you have to do is either go to the website or download the app via the App Store at Apple or Google Play and enter your information such as your name, phone number, connecting your bank account, verifying that it's you via a code, and creating a unique user ID known as your cash tag. Once you've done that, you can send and receive money very easily. All you need is the recipient's name, phone number, or their unique cash tag. Now, you do need the Cash App in order to receive money from someone who sends it to you via the Cash App. But again, it's very easy to sign up for, and something that if you did to your friends, they'd be prompted with a link. They would sign up and they'd be able to get the Cash App money. Now, like I said, it's generally free to use. Now, what I mean by that, so if you have a debit card connected to your Cash App, it is free to send money to somebody else. And if you're receiving money, it's free to receive it. However, it takes a few days to receive the money. If you want the money instantly, it'll cost you 1.5% of the balance. And if you want to send money not via a debit card, but via a credit card, it's going to charge you 3% of the amount of money that you're sending. With that being said, you can send any amount of money to your friends, such as $1. It doesn't need to be a significant amount, so that 3% or 1.5% may not end up being a lot of money, especially if it's for a few bucks for a meal that you split. Additionally, people do not need your phone number or name to send you money. So for example, if you're not friends with someone, but they owe you some money, you could give them your unique cash tag ID, and they could send it to you on that URL with your cash tag ID on it. And that way you can receive the money and not have to give out any more information than your cash tag ID. Okay, so what happens if you receive money? How do you actually spend it? Well, you can do it one of two ways. Either number one, you can transfer it like we talked about to your outside bank account, but that'll take a few days, or if you want it instantly, it'll take 1.5% of the balance. Or you can get a Cash App debit card and spend the money on the debit card right away, which I'll talk about in a little while. So let's jump into some of the more unique aspects of the Cash App. One of my favorites is their feature called Boosts. So Boosts are an ability for you to earn extra cash back on certain spending categories that you select in your Cash App, as long as you spend it via the Cash App debit card. So, for example, they've had boosts at Chipotle, a favorite of mine, Grubhub, Expedia, Taco Bell, all sorts of different places where you can get 10% back, a few dollars back. It really depends, and they're for different time periods. And all you have to do is go to your app and actually select the boost on there. And then once you're eligible, after you selected the boost, you use your debit card at that vendor and it's instantaneous cash back to you. For those who are familiar, it's very similar to the Chase offers on the different Chase credit cards or debit cards that are offered. So you can just get a certain cash back from certain vendors, but you have to activate it through your app. Now, it's worth noting today that you can't actually spend the Cash App money with only your Cash App at most vendors out there. You need the physical debit card, which you can order through the app. So let's talk about the Cash App debit card for just a little bit. The Cash App debit card, like I said, can be ordered through the app, and it's free to order, it's free to maintain, and it has no account minimums at all. So it's not going to cost you anything to have this debit card. With that being said, it will charge you money if you want to withdraw money from an ATM. It'll charge you $250 plus the ATM's fee But if you set up direct deposit with the Cash App debit card account, then you can get free ATM withdrawals. I don't personally think that setting up direct deposit here is going to be a smart move, which I will talk about later in my video, but just suffice it to say, it'll charge you money if you want to withdraw from ATMs unless you have direct deposit set up. Probably the best feature of the Cash App debit card is the ability for you to get $1 off any coffee shop, any order, so long as it's above $1.50. So what does this mean? It's a boost, but it never goes away. So as long as you use your Cash App debit card, you can use it once per hour at any coffee shop, whether it's Starbucks or a local place, and get $1 off your order as long as it's above $1.50. So if you go and you get $1.50 coffee, you use your Cash App debit card, it'll only cost you net 50 cents. Now that is a good deal. So for those with a caffeine addiction like me, this is one way to hook them on getting to use their Cash App debit card more and more and more. So let's jump into the security of this card. So first off, the Cash App, like I said, is backed by Square Inc., which is a large publicly traded, well-capitalized company. In addition, the Cash App seems to be a very tight and secure user interface, and it has two-factor authentication on sending money to other people. It'll notify you via text or email, any way that you would like, even Face ID for those with an iPhone, before you send money to somebody else. This certainly would bring a lot of clarity to me on the amount of money that I'm sending to people and whether or not I want to send it. So I really like that feature of the app. Secondly, you can also turn off your debit card if you happen to lose your debit card so that no one makes any unauthorized transactions on it. One thing to note is that Cash App to Cash App transactions where you send money to someone else who already has the Cash App cannot be canceled. They are instant. So that means if you accidentally send money to somebody whose user ID was one letter or one number off the one that you were meaning to send to, chances are you're going to be out of money. This is a big issue, and make sure not to do that if you're using the app. So what happens if you lose your debit card and somebody makes unauthorized transactions on it? Well, generally speaking, as long as you notify the Cash App within 2 business days, you're not going to be liable for any amount of money above $50. Now, if you don't make the notification to the Cash App within 2 business days, you could be liable for up to $500. This is a big downside, and one of the main reasons why I always recommend people to make transactions on their credit card as opposed to their debit card, because credit card companies, generally speaking, do not make you liable for any unauthorized charges on the credit card, whereas debit card, it's different. It works a little bit differently, and basically you're able to have liability in the debit card transactions that you wouldn't have with a credit card transaction. So those are the main features of the core aspect of the Cash App. Now let me talk to you about kind of the add-on features, the newer added-on features to the Cash App, which I think are pretty unique. One of the Frankenstein aspects of this app is that you can actually make stock purchases and Bitcoin purchases under this app. Now, it's kind of strange because this app is primarily for sending small amounts of money to your friends for small transactions, but they added this feature, and I think the reason is because all sorts of financial companies out there are trying to get everyone's life all wrapped into one app. They want to be the credit card, the debit card, and the stock platform all into one, and that's what the Cash App is trying to do here. So they just launched the Cash App investing features here, so there's not a whole lot to talk about, but there are a few key features that you should be aware of. Number one, it is free to use, so you can use this to buy stocks with $0 commissions. This is revolutionary, and honestly, it's a way that the entire industry is going. So it's not super unique now because Robinhood pioneered this a few years ago. And as Robinhood did it, a lot of other brokerages such as Charles Schwab and E-Trade and a lot of others have also gone to $0 commissions. But it is nice to see because commissions are one way that you lose money right away no matter what happens to your stock on that first day you purchase it. Of course, it can go up or down, but you never want to pay commissions because that is simply money that you're never going to see back. Secondly, this app does have fractional share investing. Now, this is actually pretty unique as compared to other apps out there. Now, Robinhood and Charles Schwab have both announced that they're launching the fractional share investing aspect to their platforms. And the fact that this app has it right out of the gate is pretty impressive to me. So for those who don't know what fractional share investing, it's really simple. If you've ever seen stocks on, CNBC and they say that they're $1,000 a share and you think, man, I would really want to purchase that company, but I don't want to put $1,000 all into that one stock just to buy one share. Well, now you don't with fractional share investing. You can purchase a bit of a company with only $1. For example, Amazon stock is around $1,700 a share. But for those who like Amazon but don't want to buy a share for $1,700, they just have to put $1 and they could buy a tiny piece of Amazon stock with only $1 on the Cash App. Robinhood announced this and Charles Schwab too, but again, the Cash App has this right out of the gate. Very impressive, and I think a pretty unique way to get people who are not actually into stock market investing now more interested in it, because it's a lot more approachable to start investing with a few dollars as opposed to a few thousand. And I really think this is a key reason why they launched the investing aspect, because they even have on their app the ability for you to read a book called My First Stock. I don't know, it's kind of a way to introduce people who don't know much about stock market investing to the world of investing. And I commend them for this, because stock market investing is a way for people to build substantial wealth over time. And if this is a way that people get introduced to it who otherwise would be too intimidated or wouldn't come across this sort of ability to buy and sell stocks that cheaply, I think it's a really, really cool thing. With all that being said, I don't think that this aspect to the app is going to carry the weight. If you're looking to invest significant amounts of money or become a serious investor over time, do not choose the Cash App as your ability to just grow your portfolio. It's a way to get introduced to stock market investing, but it's not a way to basically set and forget and leave a lot amount of money in there for investing over the long haul. Okay, so let's talk about the downsides of the Cash App. So first off, the biggest red flag to the Cash App is that your balances are not FDIC insured. This is a huge red flag and something that I've warned against for other platforms in the past. You always want any significant money that you have to be FDIC insured. For those who don't know what FDIC insurance is, at a high level, it stands for Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. It means that the amount of money that you have in a bank account will be protected up to a certain dollar threshold, $250,000 today, by the federal government in the event that the bank or the holder of that money, for whatever reason, goes bankrupt. For example, big institutions like Chase, Wells Fargo, or even other fintech firms like SoFi and Wealthfront automatically put FDIC insurance on your deposits. The fact that the Cash App doesn't have FDIC insurance is a red flag, but I do think that there are a few things to consider along with this. Number one, the Cash App is backed by a large, reputable, well-capitalized, publicly traded company, so the likelihood of the Cash App and Square generally going bankrupt is small, but it could happen. I mean, look at Enron, for example. And secondly, more practically, what is the Cash App really for? It's for sending small dollar amounts to other people. So it's really replacing the cash that you would carry in your wallet, which obviously is not FDIC insured, because if you lose your wallet, you're out of the cash. So if you have the Cash App and you have $10 in there, $15, and you're leaving that amount of money and no more, it's not really that big a deal that it's not FDIC insured, because it's just a small amount of money. And in the cataclysmic scenario that the Cash App fails, you lose $15. And really, that's a choice for you to make. I think practically for most people, it's not that big of a deal. With that being said, it was actually very difficult to find out that the Cash App was not FDIC insured. It took a lot of digging on my part. I actually had to Google it and find it on their website that I wasn't able to find just by landing on their website's normal page. And even when I saw it, it was in this text that was kind of haphazardly put together. It was stretched out, you couldn't really see, and it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because typically they want to be really upfront with these sorts of things to let you know that a key feature you should expect FDIC insurance is not available there. And for that reason, it kind of made me a little suspicious, but that's for you to judge whether or not you're willing to trust the Cash App in light of that fact. Secondly, the Cash App debit card pays no interest on any amount of money that you have in the account. So that means that the amount of money that you're leaving there is going to be losing real purchasing power over time. Number three, the Cash App doesn't have any rewards on your normal spending apart from the boosts. Now, the boosts are very, very good, obviously, but they're only good in the categories that you're using. Now, unless you go to Chipotle every single day and coffee every single day, which is probably not very good for either your wallet or your stomach, then you probably will not get the most out of the Cash App debit card if you're using it for your normal spending. For example, I like to get cash back on groceries, fixing my car at the mechanic, whatever it is. That way that I'm earning rewards on basically my entire spending. I'm always getting at least 2% back, which I can use to travel for free, which I've done for the last couple years. So I like to see people earn rewards on the amount of money that they're spending, and the Cash App doesn't allow you to do that apart from the boost. So overall, my take is that the Cash App is a pretty good solution for little problems, like sending small amounts of money to your friends for splitting the bills on various things. Now, do I think it's a good way to place all of your money and leave it there? Absolutely not, because it is not FDIC insured and you do not get interest on your deposits. So it's really up to you whether or not you want to take the risk of not having an FDIC insured account, but know that you're only going to be using it for small amounts of money to send to your friends. What are other apps that allow you to do this? Well, Apple Pay is one, which actually is FDIC insured, the amount of money that you leave there. It's FDIC insured by, I believe, the Green Dot Bank. So Apple Pay may be a solution, but again, Apple Pay doesn't have the boost feature or the $1 off coffee. So really, it's kind of a calculus for you. I'm not going to recommend it. I got the Cash App, and there is a referral program online which you can use. I'm not going to put my link in the description for the Cash App because personally, I don't believe in it as much as I do other programs out there. So if you are going to get it, be sure to use someone else's referral link. That way you earn $5 on getting the Cash App and signing up, or it might be actually $10 for that matter. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do the Cash App features outweigh the drawbacks? Are you going to get the Cash App? Please let me know questions that you have for me or video ideas for the future. I love getting video ideas from the comments. So if this video helped you out, I'd appreciate if you just gave it a like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.